So with this week being E3, I thought I'd focus on what I expect will show up at Sony's E3 press conference. This is just going to be a short video, I hope. I'm just going over mainly the software aspect of the conference, since I doubt there will be any hardware announcements. Just brief comments on how I feel about the game, and if a release date is being shown. Starting with... I really loved the first game and was glad to see a sequel show up at PSX. It may still be a little too early to show off anything. I'm not expecting a release date or even a release window, but I'm hoping to see more footage of the game.
And I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
With it being delayed till spring of next year, I'm hoping Rockstar shows off a new trailer to tide us over. And knowing how Rockstar is, the trailer will have some really vague story details, much like GTA 5, to keep us wanting more and not knowing much. Considering the game comes out in August, and with it being confirmed that it's going to be a longer story expansion than what they anticipated, I figured they'd show one more sequence with some action to get us really excited for the release. While I'm not crazy about the shift of gameplay the new game is going for, I am interested in its storytelling, since the last God of War games have been lacking in that department. We haven't seen anything of this game since E3 last year, so I fully expect them to display more of the game. The game has been in development for a while. I'm guessing we're hitting close to its release window or even release date. I want to be hopeful and say a mid to late 2018 release date, but that's just being a little optimistic. I actually almost forgot about this game. It's supposedly releasing this year on both PC and PS4, so I expect we'll see a release date in winter or fall of 2017. I just feel like nothing is going to be shown off at E3 for the Ff7 Remake. They've been changing the team structure since the game has been announced 2 years ago, no longer having Cyberpunk 2 handling making the game, but rather the game being worked on Square Enix itself. Hoping this means the game will have a smoother development time, but Square has a lot on its hands with KH3, FF7, and even the Avengers game to a certain degree. Who knows if they're still going for that episodic approach after changing some things during development. The game is still ways off, which is disappointing to say. I do hope I'm wrong and that we get to play the game soon and not by 2020, but we'll see.
Has been made.
Speaking about games announced 2 years ago, I originally had this game on the list and wanting a possible gameplay demo and update, but just a few days before recording this, it's been announced that the game is being pushed back to 2018 and not having any presence at E3 this year. I feel like this would be the perfect time to announce a Shenmue Hd Collection, considering most people who have played Shenmue haven't played it since the Dreamcast days, or those who want to get into the series before 3 releases. There's been a lot of rumors floating around about the Hd Collection releasing, and even trademarks for this game, so I am crossing my fingers for this one. I'm actually really excited for this game. It's been a long time since I played a proper Spider-Man game. I'd say the last one I played was Web of Shadows. While the game looked pretty ass even just a few years after the game launched, it had tight swinging and a great combo system. I didn't bother playing any of the Beanox games, or while I kinda wanted to play Shattered Dimensions, that was really it. The mixed and negative reviews both Edge of Time and the Amazing Spider-Man games were getting discouraged me from playing any of them. Which brings us to the next game being developed by Insomniac, makers of the Ratchet and Clank franchise. From what was displayed last year, this game is looking pretty solid so far. Here's to hoping we get a proper name to the game, another gameplay trailer, and a release date. I grew up playing Sucker Punch's Sly Trilogy on the PS2 and loved those games. Even replaying them on PS3, I still had a blast reliving it all over again. So much that I managed to platinum the original trilogy. Twice. Thank you, Vita. While I never got the chance to play Infamous 2, the original and Second Son were a great time. So now comes the question. We know that Sucker Punch has been working on a PS4 game behind the scenes, and we don't really have a clue to what it could be. From another Infamous game, Sly 5, or even a new IP, personally I'd like to see Sly 5, but it's unlikely after seeing the torch being passed to Sanzaru Games, who remastered the trilogy on PS3 and made Sly 4. Whatever the new project is, I'm excited either way. There really isn't that much that can be said about CD Projekt Red's new game, Cyberpunk 2077, since all we got was that CG trailer, and that was 4 years ago already. Besides the whole hacker group taking some documents of the game and holding it for ransom, the game itself has been relatively quiet for the most part. And my guess is that we'll see a gameplay demo of it at E3. I'm not entirely sure if it'll show up for Sony's conference, or even Microsoft for that matter, but I have a feeling we'll be seeing more of the game at E3 this year. I was so hyped to find out another Marvel vs. Capcom game is being made, and to top it off, re-releasing Ultimate Marvel 3, the amount of hours I've sunk into the PS3 version has got to be near the 300 to 400 mark. It's hard to say since I've reset my rank a few times. It's the game that got me into the fighting game community, how I really started to learn the ins and outs of the game and got myself, at this point in time, a 5th Lord rank, which isn't much to snuff at compared to Master or Cosmic Lord, but I'm still kinda proud of it. This game was also how I met some of my closest friends to this very day, so you can understand why I'm so excited for this new game. You guys don't understand how much anxiety one gets from seeing these leaked and rumored lists since the game was announced at PSX 6 months ago. At first, it was exciting, but as time went on, the list started to get very worrying. A character roster that reaches possibly less than 30 characters, most of those 30 characters being returning characters with barely any newcomers. One of the main reasons I got UMVC 3, even after buying Vanilla Marvel 3, was Phoenix Wright. And to hear that he might not even be in the game is a real bummer. Again, these are rumors and leaked lists, but some of these lists has had credible sources in the past. All I can really hope for is that the roster we've been hearing about for the past week or two is disconfirmed with some new characters being shown off. That's mostly everything I was able to put. There are a couple of things that I wasn't able to put on the video just because my computer is just crapping out on me while I'm editing. Stuff like the new Call of Duty, a possible Monster Hunter for PS4, there's Days Gone, I think Bloodborne 2 as well. I even had Kingdom Hearts 3 on the video, and I took it out completely. I probably got like 3/4 of the way with editing, and that's when the new trailer dropped at like, what, 2 in the morning. And I was gonna add on to the original segment, but with everything that's been happening with my computer, I decided to just fuck it and just get rid of that segment completely. But I will say the new video, the new trailer for Kingdom Hearts, it's phenomenal. Like, they fixed a lot of the problems that I had going forward with the series. A lot of the problems that I had specifically was with the presentation that they had and the character models. So when I saw Sora and some of the other characters being shown off in that trailer, they look so much more better than what we saw in 0.2 and even in previous Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers. There's probably some questions here or there, like why didn't you do Microsoft's conference or even EA's or some of the other companies, and I wasn't really prepared to do any of the other ones. I really wanted to focus on Sony's because that was the one that I was legitimately like very excited to watch. I'm a little iffy on Nintendo's because for the past couple of years they haven't really had the best track record in terms of their E3 conferences. Maybe in the coming years I'll do the same thing that I did for Sony in terms of the other companies, but yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning there. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to be heading to the city soon to watch the Sony press conference in a movie theater. I'll probably record some reactions from the live crowd that's going to be there because I know it's going to be such a packed theater. So look forward to that later on today or even tomorrow. And once I see some of the stuff that they show off at E3, I'll probably comment it, but don't think it's going to come out anytime soon because this computer just sucks. Anyway, see you later, guys.